After understanding all the concepts theoretically, now let us take up some program demos. By that, you can crystallize your knowledge. Now, as I told you already, file class cannot perform any I/O operations. It is simply using file class methods we can know the features of the files and other allied functionalities I explained. But only thing what you have to remember is file class does not provide any methods for performing I/O operations. Okay, that point always you remember. Thereafter, we have to file class deals with file object. So, once we give a file name, it is converted as a file object. Once it is converted into file object, all the corresponding instance methods will work. That point always you remember. We create file and that file is to be manipulated by a Java program. Then we provide it to the file class. By that it is converted into a file object. Once a file is converted into file object, then only we are allowed to perform, we are allowed to use its instance methods on the file class object. That point you must remember. Actually, as far as how we can feed a file to a program, already as I explained already, there are three ways. The first one is you can keep the name in the program itself, file name in the program itself as an argument. Then that is one way. Second way is if you want to provide file name interactively by writing interactive code and provide the file name. So, every run you can provide different file names also. That is second way. Third way is this is also one way, not interact, but at the time of interpretation, using command line argument we can give. So, in three ways we can provide file names to a program to know its features. And now you see in this case what is the name of the class? File details. Now Java at the time of interpretation I am giving Java file details. This is the file name what I am going to provide to this program in order to know its features using file class instance methods. That point you have to understand. Now we see file detail, thereafter I have written main, thereafter now we see file class, f object reference, new file args0. Now the file name is stored in args0, here strings args0. As it is a string and all that, there is no question of parsing. Actually, if it is a integer value or floating point value or double value and all that, we may require to parse it in order to perform operations. But it is file name is a pure string. That's why we use it as it is. That's why we need not perform any parsing operations, just args0 we have given. By that, by this argument, we are providing file name to this file class converts into an object. That point always remember. Now Java is a true object oriented programming language. That's why it can deal only with objects. So if you provide file, whatever you think of file, that file is provided to the file class converts into a file object. The file object name is f. Now you see different methods I am introducing, and depending on the requirement you can use all these methods, and several program demos I am giving you. By that you can understand their functionalities of the all the methods. The first one, you have to know the file name. Now f dot get name. Now what is the file name? File dot text. that is the file name, get name. This is the instance method of the file class. Okay. Second one, F get path. Actually, file, every file is stored in directories and all that. That's why the path, suppose in order to meet you, some certain address is required. Already in previous chapters I explained to you. So, the path where this file is located is called path, that already explained to you. Now we see get get parent. Now here you see in a get parent we are getting D in D drive and IO examples. In IO examples directory I have created file.txt. That's why the parent directory, the parent, that parent is displayed. Next, get path. Now we are providing complete address. Now we see this is in D drive. In the IO examples, in the directory D drive, I have created IO examples. In the IO examples, I have created file.txt. So entire path is created. Next, get absolute path. Actually, get path and absolute path, slight difference is there. Suppose in case of any root directory is there, by using get path, get absolute path, we get including root directory's name also. But the current directory may be the root directory. So in this case, current directory is the root directory. That's why if you write get path, the current directory path is displayed. Here current directory and root directory are representing the same. That's why the same output you can find. So in this manner, so there are several other methods I am going to explain in the further demos. I don't want to dump everything. That's why learn in this manner and use them according to your requirement in IO management programs.